everybody, it's Jennifer with the Family Fudge, and welcome to Subscriber Lunch Sunday. Today I'm super excited because we are having a mac and cheese throwdown. I searched through thousands of lunch ideas that you guys sent to me, and I picked out 4 that include mac and cheese. Now, of course, there are so many different kinds of mac and cheese available at the store, but today we're just gonna try 4 of them. And of course, the kids are gonna be our taste testers here. They're gonna let us know which mac and cheese is their favorite. Now, if you would like to submit a lunch idea, I'll go ahead and put a link in the description box below. Now, go ahead and give this video a like, hit the red subscribe button if you're new, and let's get on to the lunches. I'm kicking things off with a lunch idea sent in by Loren. She is 13 years old and is from British Columbia. For these lunches today, I am going to be using the new Ami boxes. Since they have the built-in thermos, they're going to be perfect for keeping the mac and cheese warm. For this lunch today, I'm going to start with, you guessed it, the mac and cheese first. For Loren's lunch, she chose the Annie's brand white cheddar and shells mac and cheese. I know that this is a very popular choice, and I buy this one quite often too. Annie's is definitely a favorite brand of mine, and I also like that their mac and cheese is usually not very expensive at all. I can usually find a box for around $1 at Target. Now, like I said, this pasta is shaped like shells. I would love to know in the comments down below what shape of pasta is your favorite. Now, this particular kind of mac and cheese is pretty traditional. All I have to do is boil the water, cook the noodles, and then mix in the cheese packet. Now, this one does require extra milk and butter to make it nice and creamy, but as you can see, there's no added food coloring in this one, so it's not a yellow mac and cheese. It's definitely white. Now that I have this all mixed up, I'll go ahead and get it into the thermos section of the lunchbox and then move on to the fruits and veggies. I'm gonna go ahead and start by slicing up some cucumber. To make these extra cute, I will go ahead and use my flower-shaped cookie cutter. And this is actually going to, number one, make them look really cute, but it's also going to take off the skin. I know a lot of people are not fans of cucumber skin at all, so this is a good way to make it cute and remove them all at once. I'm actually going to go ahead and make this into a combo by adding some baby carrots. It just fit perfectly right inside the lunchbox. And then for the fruit today, I'm actually going to add several different kinds of berries. Strawberries and blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries, with this cute teeny little fork to pick them up with, and maybe a frog pick as well, just for fun. Now for the back section of our lunchbox, I'm going to go ahead and add 2 silicone liners. These are reusable, and they're a great way to keep foods separate within the lunchbox. On this side, I'm going to go ahead and add some cheese crackers. Now these are the organic cheddar bunnies, also from the Annie's brand. Hashtag not sponsored. These pretty much taste just like goldfish, although they claim to be cheesier and crispier. I'm not sure about that, but I'll go ahead and add some right in here. And then for our special treat, I'm also going to add some Annie's chocolate chip cookies. These are crunchy and crispy, and they fit perfectly in here. Okay, and then last but not least, for her special drink today, Loren chose good old chocolate milk. Now this is actually shelf-stable milk, which means it doesn't have to be refrigerated and won't go bad, so it's easy to take to school. And there we have it. There's Loren's lunch today. I'm gonna go ahead and let the kids dig in, and they can let us know what they think about this mac and cheese. I really think the Annie's shells and white cheddar is a solid choice for mac and cheese. It's not quite as creamy as some other brands, but it's not dry by any means. Up next, I have a lunch idea sent in by Morgan, who is 11 years old and is from Wales. For this lunch today, of course, I'm starting with the mac and cheese, but this time I'm using the most classic mac and cheese there is, in my opinion. I'm using Kraft mac and cheese, and this one's called the cheesiest. So these include the traditional macaroni shape. Now this type of mac and cheese was a little bit cheaper than the Annie's, although it's not organic, but this brand no longer includes artificial flavors or colors. Now this is pretty much the mac and cheese of my childhood. We didn't have Annie's, we didn't have all the fancy mac and cheeses that are available now. But to tell you the truth, usually we didn't have Kraft mac and cheese because my mom was a bargain hunter and she usually bought the generic brand because it was much cheaper. Now there's nothing fancy when it comes to preparing this mac and cheese. You just boil the noodles, of course, and then you drain them. Now, an interesting thing to note here is that this mac and cheese actually calls for a lot more butter and milk versus the Annie's brand. So I'm expecting that this mac and cheese will definitely be creamier because of that fact. I really like how this powdered cheese dissolves really nicely in the noodles. Sometimes with mac and cheese, the little dry powder doesn't really mix in very well, but that's definitely not a problem here. This is looking pretty good. It's definitely more saucy than the Annie's brand. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this to the lunchbox, which by the way also kind of matches the Kraft mac and cheese. And then it's time to move on to our fruits and veggies. For Morgan's lunch today, I'm gonna go ahead and add some celery. I'll go ahead and give it a trim so it can fit nicely in the lunchbox. And then to go along with the celery, I'm also adding in some peanut butter. This is a Jif to-go cup. I love throwing these into lunches because they're super convenient. And you guys, sometimes I find these at the Dollar Tree, so they're a really good price too. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the fruit. For this lunch, I'm adding 3 different kinds of melon. I have cantaloupe, watermelon, and honeydew. Now I did go ahead and cut these so that they would look extra cute. I have cantaloupe melon balls, watermelon stars, and honeydew flowers. This is really easy to do, it just takes a little bit of time. I'll go ahead and put these into the lunchbox as well. I'm gonna fill up the entire back section with this delicious fruit. I think this looks awesome. But to make it even more cute, I will go ahead and add some of these little panda pics, just for fun. To go along with this, I'm also adding some Pringles. These are just the cheddar cheese flavored ones. I feel like here in America we don't have a lot of interesting Pringle flavors. I know places like Japan and Canada, even the UK, they tend to have a lot of interesting flavors that we can't find here in the US. So that's kind of a bummer. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite flavor of Pringles is. I'm a huge fan of the curry flavored ones from Japan. So I'll go ahead and put a stack of these in the lunchbox. They actually fit perfectly in here. Now on to the special treat. Now Morgan actually suggested Oreos, but instead of regular Oreos, I found these and they look super interesting. These are actually Oreo sticks that you dip into the icing. So they taste exactly the same, they're just a little bit of a different packaging, if you know what I mean. And for Morgan's special drink today, I'm adding pink lemonade. This lemonade actually has coconut water in it as well, so it is super tasty. And there we have it. Now I'll go ahead and call in my official taste testers, and they'll let us know what they think. Now you guys, I can totally see why this mac and cheese is really popular. It is really nice and creamy with a lot of cheese flavor. Up next, I have a lunch idea sent in by Jack, but not my Jack. This one's actually from Australia and he's 8 years old. For his lunch today, I decided to make the Annie's mac and cheese mac and cheese. Now, I'm not exactly sure if this is available in Australia. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below if it is. Now, I'm thinking this is gonna taste just like the regular Annie's mac and cheese. It's just that the pasta has a different shape. These shapes are really cute, you guys. There's an earth, a tree, a recycle symbol, and a bicycle. Now this mac and cheese was a little bit more expensive, but not much, at just over $1 a box. Still a pretty good price, especially for organic mac and cheese. So I'll go ahead and give you a close-up of the pasta shapes because sometimes I've learned that after the pasta cooks, it doesn't really keep the special shape anymore. So I'll be interested to see if these do or don't. Okay guys, enough about the pasta talk. Let's go ahead and get it into the water. After it's boiled, I went ahead and drained it. And now it's time for the milk and butter. Now this actually calls for the same amount of butter and milk of the first box of Annie's mac and cheese that we made, but as you can see here, the sauce is kind of runny. So now I'm just gonna get this into the lunchbox and then it's time to add the fruit. For Jack's lunch, I'm gonna start by cutting some pineapple, and I went ahead and used my heart-shaped cookie cutter for this. I went ahead and added the pineapple to a separate muffin liner with a giraffe pick. And in the other portion, I'm gonna put some fresh raspberries. That sounds like a delicious fruity combination. For his vegetable, Jack chose broccoli with ranch for dipping. And then for his special treat today, he chose chocolate-covered pretzels. He also requested some Frito corn chips, and for his drink, some iced tea. This is actually an herbal hibiscus tea. This is lightly sweetened and it sounds really good to me. Our next lunch idea was sent in by Ashley. She's 12 years old and is from West Virginia. For her mac and cheese today, I'm making something totally different. This is the deluxe Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. Now this type of mac and cheese is different. It doesn't come with a powder. You don't have to add butter or milk, but instead it comes with a pouch of already mixed up cheese sauce. So all I'm gonna have to do here is cook the noodles. These are a bigger elbow noodle. And then once it's cooked and drained, I'm gonna go ahead and add the cheese sauce. Now you can see here, this is very, very yellow, and there's quite a bit of sauce. This box was a little bit more expensive. It was about $3, but I also feel like this box is a lot bigger than the other boxes, so you're definitely getting more for your money as well. So far, this mac and cheese seems very similar to the Kraft Deluxe or even the Velveeta mac and cheese. Okay, now moving on to the fruit. For Ashley's lunch, I'm gonna go ahead and add some watermelon. I just went ahead and cubed this up. I'll go ahead and add a few little flags just for fun. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and add some baby carrots, but these baby carrots are ginormous. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them in half so it's easier for the kids to eat. Giant carrots are definitely harder to bite into, especially if you have a loose tooth, which some of the kids do right now. So in go my carrots. I'm also gonna add some ranch for dipping. For the special treat today, she chose mini cupcakes. Now I actually just bought these from the store, you guys. I didn't make them from scratch, but they still look good, and I love all the sprinkles on there. Now to go along with this, she also requested some applesauce, and for her drink, some berry lemonade. Okay guys, now out of all of the mac and cheeses, this one definitely had the thickest sauce, and now it's time to find out which mac and cheese the kids like the best.
My favorite was the Eddie's mac and cheese, and my least favorite was the Cracker Barrel, and my favorite was the Kraft. The least favorite that I liked was the white cheddar. My favorite was the Kraft. My least favorite was the Annie's white cheddar. I want mac and cheese. I don't like stuffs.
Give this video a big thumbs up and hit that red subscribe button if you're new. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.